Guys, in this video we're going to Arc Raceway. I'm going to take along some of these cars here. They're all broken, so I've got a wrench on them. And don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with the whole wrenching process because I can't be bothered to film it anyway. So I want to take the Traxxas X-Max. This one here needs a new bulkhead and a new shock tower. Hopefully that's it. Oh look, I can see the diff in there. I want to take the Outcast 4S, but I need to put some new arms on it. I've got some RPM arms here. And then the Kraton 6S. It's lost power, so I think that might be the ESC or the receiver, so we're going to have a look at that as well. Also, I want to take along that red Baja up there, but I do need to fit a safety kill switch because the one that's in there doesn't work. And here's the kill switch that I'm going to be putting in there. Boom! Outcast 4S is all fixed again, ready for actions. I've put a new link on the top here. And underneath, I'm running all these RPM arms. I've still got these aluminium knuckles on here from the custom RC Upgrades website. A lot of people always ask me, what is the best sort of cheaper RC car? And I think you're looking at it right there. I mean, for the price and what you get, you really can't go far wrong with these. I mean, it does need a couple of upgrades, servo and radio. So if you want to know more about the setup on this truck, what batteries I use, everything like that, what servo, radio gear, there's going to be a link to all of that lot down below. And people say, what's the strongest RC car that I have? And it's probably between one of these. So this one here is a souped up, modified Arrma Kraton. I've got all M2C stuff here, stuff from Custom RC Upgrades, stuff from Just Bash It RC. So if you want to know the full spec of this truck, there's going to be a link to that truck down below too. And then here's the X-Max. I mean, these out of the box is probably the strongest RC I've ever had out of the box. I don't really need that many upgrades to make them strong. But in my opinion, a modified Arrma Kraton or a Traxxas X-Max, I mean, it's going to be any basher's dream. And I've just found an issue with my Kraton. The trouble is as Steve predicted, I've probably sort of worn through the ESC cable. And if you look carefully there you go. That's exactly what happened. Well done, Stephen. All right, so I've just soldered it back on, plugged it all in. Let's see if it works. Hey, yes. Just took the motor out to gear it up because I want this thing to go faster. I'm going to have a little competition with Martin, who won the Paddlesworth competition, who can jump the furthest or the highest or whatever. So in this video, we're going to see who can jump higher out of us two. I'm going to use my Kraton, but I've got to make it faster. Martin's going to use his Max, but I've just taken this. Well, I think Martin's going to use his Max. Maybe we'll use something else. But anyway, I've just taken the motor out and look. Look at the state of that. Somehow it still works. I've kind of glued a piece of cable here to try and support the motor because, well, doing heavy landings, the motor was slamming down onto the chassis and it's trying to rip the motor off the mount, and it keeps pulling this end plate off of the actual can where it's landing so hard. Never really get that problem on the X-Max because the X-Max has got the motor supported on both ends, and also being a plastic chassis, there's a lot more give on hard landings. On this thing here, when you land it hard, the chassis slams onto the floor. There's just no forgiving for anything. But anyway, I've got an old motor here, so I should probably put that can onto there, and I've got another end cap here. I can put that on there as well, and we should be good to go again. Alright, just rebuilt the motor. So here you can see that massive, great big dent in the old one. Got it all back in. This time, I've wedged a piece of high density foam underneath it. Hopefully that's going to help cushion it a little bit. But more importantly, will it work? Yes, and I put on a big opinion, 15 tooth. So that's two cars ready. So next, onto the X-Max. So I've just got the rear end taken off. You can see here clearly where it broke. And I think I found why it lost front wheel drive. Because if we turn this shaft here, look, it's not actually doing anything in there. So I'm guessing there's something gone wrong inside this part. Just got the rear end off. Haha, there we go, guys. That is why we lost front wheel drive. Boom, X-Max fixed again. This was the only damage. So bulkhead, shock tower, and this lower bulkhead thingamajig here. So I've just put the new kill switch in, and now it works. Yes. All right. Slight little rant. Well, not really a rant, but just something I want to get off my chest. So I've seen recently in my comments some people saying, why are you hating on Arrma? Why do you not like Arrma? Why are you always trying to make Arrma look bad? And it's really not the case. So let me explain. So 2 points I want to make. Point number one, sometimes companies, they brand all their stuff as being tough and super durable and super strong. And then you get it and you use it and you find out it really isn't. And to me, that's false advertising. I don't think if a product really isn't tough, they shouldn't put on the box and shouldn't brand it as being tough. So this is any company. I don't really care what company it is. Arrma, Traxxas, Kyosho, whatever. I don't care what brand it is. If there's a company out there that are branding their stuff as being tough, and then you get hold of it and you find out it isn't tough, then something has to be said. So on my channel, I'm not biased towards any brand. I mean, I have to buy this stuff out of my own money, and I just share with you, with the audience, the experience that I get from the different products. So if it's good, I'll share it. If it's bad, I'll share it. If as a whole the product is good and it's got some weak spots, I'll share it. And of course, I send my stuff to the moon a lot higher than most people do. And the stuff that I use sees a lot more abuse than like the average user would probably put their stuff through. So it's good for you guys, because you guys can really see like the stuff that can really take a beating and the stuff that can't. And I know the word tough and how strong an RC car is quite subjective. So, you know, if you compare like, say, I don't know, say an Arrma Kraton to like an RC car from like 10, 20 years ago, then yes, it's immensely tough. It takes a complete beating. Because not so long ago, you could just sort of, I can't remember, somebody said that you can jump a car off a table and it used to break. And nowadays we're jumping them 10, 20, 30, 40 feet in the air and they're surviving. So if we say something's tough, you have to kind of compare it to like today, to other stuff that's tough today. You can't call it tough and compare it to something that was tough 20 years ago, because stuff's evolving, stuff's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So when they market stuff, like I think like the Proline little monster truck thing, I'm not 100% sure. Somebody said to me they market it as being like the ultimate basher. And then my buddy Ian got one and soon found out it isn't. It breaks bulkheads all the time. It keeps snapping things. It's not as tough as people were making out. And you've got to remember that a lot of YouTubers, they get given these cars for free to sample. And they kind of have to give it a good review. So with people that, not everybody, you know, a lot of YouTubers, they get given stuff and they're honest. And they'll show what actually happens. You know, one couple of YouTubers spring to mind is RC Dude and Rich Duperbash. They get given RC cars, but they're honest. When they break stuff, they show it. So that's cool. But you get some other YouTubers that get given stuff and they'll have to butter it up and make it look better than what it is. And what I don't like seeing is people spending their hard-earned money, the hard-earned cash on stuff that they think is going to be tough and then it isn't. So I show the weaknesses of all brands. I want people to see, when they see something on my channel, that is actually how it's going to be. And I know everybody has different experiences from different products, you know, like some people might have an X-Max and the ESC might catch fire. And other people might have an X-Max and the ESC doesn't catch fire. So I can only really share the experience that I personally have and the experience that my friend and as the group has as a whole. That's all I can really share. And I base what I say and what I do and my thought on what I've actually seen with my own eyes and what I actually do myself. I don't base my sort of point of view based on what I read on the internet. Like people for years have been saying, for example, don't do self-right on an X-Max, you'll strip out the diffs. And it's not the case, not for me anyway. I've been doing self-right for 4 years. No problems. So I kind of like to make my own mind up on stuff. So going back to when people are saying, oh, I'm hating on Arrma. It's like, no, I'm not hating on Arrma. But when something is marketed as being tough and it isn't, then I show it on the channel. And then people say, oh, you laugh when it breaks and you make your little jokes. And it's like, this channel's about entertainment, right? We just have fun. It's all about having fun. And I'm not loyal to any brand at all. I mean, to me, I don't care what the brand is. If the car brings me fun, that's all I care about. If the spares are easily available, if the spares are cheap, if it's easy to work on, the car's reliable, it's fun to drive, fun to work on, I'll just sort of look at the whole package. I don't care what brand it is. I don't care if it's Traxxas, Kyosho, HBI, Arrma, whatever. I don't care. All I care is on the experience that the product brings me. And when I'm sort of making jokes at, like, say, Arrma, for example, I'm doing it to wind up the fanboys. So you get these extremist fanboys sometimes, and like it's fine having a favourite brand. I mean, you know, some people like Traxxas, some people like Arrma, some people like HBI. Everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people have their favourite brands, and they maybe only have cars from that brand, which is cool, which is fine. It's cool. It's good to have your favourite stuff, but then to bully others, and to talk crap on the internet, and be mean to other people just because they've got a different brand to what you have. It's just ridiculous. So this hobby is supposed to bring people together. And you get this certain group of extremists. I'm not talking about everybody. A very small minority of extremists that are so extremely sort of, like, say, for example, like an Arrma fanboy. They're, in my opinion, they've been the worst. You get Traxxas fanboys and you get Arrma fanboys. But in my opinion, the extremist Arrma fanboys are some of the worst. And if you say you post a video onto one of the Arrma groups and it's got a different car in there, oh my God. If you've got an X-Max, oh my God, they'll hunt you down. They'll talk crap to you. They'll bully you. And over a toy. And I don't understand why. I mean, the best RC for you is the RC that gives the best experience to you, and that could be different for the next guy. For me, the car that gives me the most enjoyment at the moment is the X-Max. And for the next guy, it may well be an Arrma Kraton, and that's cool. It is great to have your favourite toy, but then to bully somebody else for liking something different in a community that's supposed to be fun, supposed to bring people together. I mean, these are just toys. They're there for fun. And it saddens me just to see that people are bullying each other's and bringing people down just because they like a different toy. And I really don't know why some people are so loyal to a certain brand. I mean, if you work for the company, fine. If you're sponsored by the company, fine. If you own shares in the company, fine. If you own the company, then yeah, sure, be loyal to that brand. But if you're just a normal dude like me or most other people that have to pay for their own stuff, then yes, like whatever brand you like, but don't be so extremist on that one item that you start bullying other people and you're so close-minded that you can't see anything else that's out there. I mean, some of these extremist fanboys were saying to me, you wait till the X-Max Killer comes out, you just wait, X-Max Killer's going to come out, that'll show you, that'll teach you, they're saying to me. And I'm like, great, X-Max is my favourite RC car. And if a company comes out and can build a better one, that's good. I mean, I'm going to buy it straight away. I don't care what brand it is. If my favourite RC car is the X-Max and something better comes out, I'm having it. I mean, surely that's good for the hobby. If companies sort of battling it out amongst each other to see who can build a better toy, that's better for everybody. We all get better toys. But if you're so close, your mind is so closed into one brand, and you're so extremely focused on Arrma, like Arrma's the best, nothing else, and you're missing out on possibly other brands that have a great toy, like the X-Max, for example. I've seen so many people that are hating on the X-Max just because they've seen some of the comments online. They've had a go on one, and they've ended up buying one. And for those people that are hating on it, because they're extremists, they're missing out. But instead, you could just like all the toys and just enjoy them all. And, you know, when you see me sort of making little jokes where I go, I'm a tough. I mean, I do it to other brands as well. I mean, I'll do it with Traxxas. When like, on the Traxxas, it's no secret that the plastic drive shafts that Traxxas use are not that strong and they break. And I'll say the same when that breaks. So I'm not biased to anything. I'll say it how it is. But I do like winding up the extremist fanboys. So when you see me sort of go, I'm a tough and make a little joke, it's not aimed at the company. I like Arrma. I do like Arrma. I don't like how they overly say how tough the stuff is, and it isn't. I mean, the 3S lineup, the 4S lineup, yes, crazy strong. A Kraton that's been modified, you know, the 6S, out the box, they're not that tough. They're all right for sort of mild, intermediate bashing if you land it nice. But if you start bashing it, and most people, they don't land the jump perfect every time. Most people that go out and buy RC cars, they're going to jump them and they're going to land them a bit funny, not land them perfectly and have little knocks and bumps. And in my opinion, if it has to be a good basher in today's world, it has to take the odd bad landing. If you look at the X-Max, for example, the amount of bad landings that can take is unreal. So for something to be marketed as a basher and tough, it has to take the odd bad landing. And if we look at the 6S Arrmas, for example, the chassis just bend so easy. Not just from my experience, but from what I've seen from others. And yes, we are jumping them higher nowadays. But if you look at the competition like the X-Max can take bad landings. If you look at the 3S Arrmas and the 4S Arrmas, they take bad landings. So I'm comparing it to other stuff on the market now, not stuff on the market 20 years ago. So if I see something that's a weakness, like an Arrma metal chassis that bends easily compared to what's in the market today, and it's marketed as being tough, I'll say it. I'll say it how it is. And, you know, that's probably the reason why a lot of these companies don't send me stuff. I've got to pay for the stuff myself. You know, I've contacted companies before and said, do you fancy sending me stuff for review? And they wouldn't do it. And I'd rather pay for the stuff and know that I can be fully honest. The one company that does send me stuff is Banggood. But I was very clear from the start. When they sent me stuff, I said, I'll do it, but only if I can be 100% honest. If something breaks, it's going in the video. If something sucks, it's going in the video. I'm not going to make anything out to look better than what it is. And they said, fine, good. That's what we want. And that is the only company so far that has given me that freedom, is to be fully honest about a product. And I thought to myself, cool, I'm going to be honest. If I can't be honest and they stop sending me stuff, then fine. But it's worth giving it a go. And so far, I've been doing Banggood reviews for probably about a year now. And it's all been good. You know, I've showed bad things. I've showed stuff that breaks. And yes, some of the Banggood stuff, people say, oh yeah, but the Arrma's stronger than the Banggood, and you don't say anything about the Banggood stuff. The thing is, the Banggood stuff is a lot cheaper, and it isn't marketed as being tough. It hasn't got all over the box, super strong, tough, and all this stuff. It doesn't say it. It's just an RC car. And that's fine. I mean, if a company doesn't say on the box it's tough and they're not marketing it to be like crazy, crazy strong, then you're not expecting it to be that strong. But when they put on the box tough and they put on there the ultimate basher and all this kind of stuff, and it isn't, that's when I say something. But anyway, guys, that is it for this video. Not really a rant, just to sort of let some of you guys know what's going down, what's happening, as I see so many questions sometimes, and I don't want anybody to feel that I'm sort of hating on Arrma or any other brand, because I'm not. I'm just showing it how it is, and if I'm annoying anybody, I'm aiming my annoyingness at these extremist fanboys that go around bullying others for liking other stuff. That's all I'm doing. I'm winding up the extremist fanboys. And don't get confused with having your favourite brand. As I said, many people have their favourite brand. That's cool. But don't bully other people. You know, if you like Arrma, great. If your best buddy likes Traxxas, great. It's all cool. Let everybody be friends together. I actually had a comment from a little dude a little while ago. I think it was on a live stream. I can't remember. Or maybe in a comment somewhere. And he said all his friends have got Apple iPhones and he's got a Samsung. And his friends were bullying him because he's got a Samsung and he's not part of the Apple clan. And this dude was genuinely upset. He was really getting depressed over it. That all his friends were picking on him because he had a different brand of phone. And what I said to him is, dude, you need to find some new friends. If friends are going to judge you based on what phone you have, they're not friends worth having. There's plenty of other people you can go out there and be friends with. You don't, if you need to have like wear specific clothes, or you've got to drive a specific car, or you've got to have a specific phone just to be friends with somebody, they're not friends worth having. You need friends that are friends with you based on who you are and how you treat people and how you are as a person. That's what counts. Not what brand you stick up for and what phone you have and what RC cars you have and if you've got a PlayStation or an Xbox. Who cares? Base your friendship on true things, like real things, like how the person actually is. Base it on that. So that's the sort of thing I'm going after. When I'm making these jokes, I'm going after these extremist bullies. And that is it. There's nothing more to it. And also, the showing stuff that is marketed as being tough when it isn't. And that is it. That is simply it. And I'm not biased towards any brand. It's just whatever I find good is what I find good. And that is it. Simple as that. But anyway, guys, that is it for this video. Thumbs up, thumbs down if you suck. Subscribe, bell button, all that stuff. You know what you got to do. I will see you in the next video where we're going to go to Arc Raceway and we're going to play with the Baja, the X-Max. We're doing a high jump competition where we've already done it. I'm not going to tell you who won the high jump competition. But some of the stuff went stupidly high. Anyway, guys, I'll see you maybe tomorrow or the day after when I get those videos edited. There's probably going to be 2 videos, maybe 3. One with the X-Max, one with the Baja, and then one at the skate park when we done the high jump competition. And Jesus, some of the stuff went high. All right, guys, see you soon.